Hello, wonderful witches and Wiccans out there in the wonderful world of witchcraft. I'm Toby, a solitary pagan eclectic witch, and today we're talking about everything moons. Okay, so this is a video for people who are just starting out in Wicca or starting witchcraft, or just want to find out about moons and magic and what is the deal with it. So this is not really for people who are advanced Wiccans or witches because you already know this stuff, but this is kind of like an informal video about moons. I just absolutely love this. It's absolutely gorgeous. I love it. So the moon is associated with the goddess. So the moon energy is associated with the goddess. The sun energy is associated with the god. So this is the female goddess power energy here. And every month there is a full moon, unless it is a blue moon, which means there's two full moons in a month, and that is extremely powerful energy there, and we'll talk about that later on. But yeah, so there's normally one full moon in a month, and the full moon is the height of power. So this is when you do your powerful magic spells, because the full moon is when it's at its highest. This is when the goddess energy is at its peak, and so this is where magic is strong. This is where the magic is at its height, its strongest. So do all your spells on, or your most powerful spells on the full moon, and use the energy of the goddess, the energy of the moon. Use that gorgeous, fantastic energy to heighten your spells, because it is power. The full moon is power, and that power is really going to help your magic and really help your spells. So that's really good energy to do all your music. So that's the full moon is where you have your full power, your full magical energy. And then we have the other side, which is the new moon. So you start off with a new moon, which means basically no light at all. So there's no light, it's just a black circle in the sky. And then let's turn back on again. And then you have a waxing moon. So this is where there is a tiny slither of light, and the rest is black. And the waxing moon is where it slowly gets lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter until we get to the full moon, where they're beautiful, lit up, powerful, and then it goes into waning mode. So it gets darker and darker and darker and darker and darker until we go back to a new moon. So the way you can remember it is the waxing, as you put a wick in a wax, it gets thicker and thicker and thicker until you get a candle. So waxing, you're putting on light, and waning, you're taking off light. In the Wiccan Reed, they're called other things, like it's called Windershins and Docile. Docile go by the waxing moon, blah, blah, blah. So it does have different words and meanings to it. So we'll start off with the beginning. So it begins with a new moon where there's no light at all. And this is like the new beginning. So every time we come round to a new moon, that's new beginnings, new power, new energy, slate is wiped clean. So you can do spells to do with health, healing, psychic awareness, beauty, fertility, that sort of spells. It's kind of the maiden aspect of the triple goddess. The triple goddess is Mother Maiden Crone, and so the new moon energy is the spells of so to do with the maiden element, and as we go from the new moon to the full moon, we're kind of doing spells that's going to help us, that's going to work towards us. So like health, healing spells, psychic awareness, stuff that's going to help, something that's working towards something. So that's kind of spells you do in the waxing time. And then we get to the full moon where you do your massive spells, so you accumulate, and this is where the goddess power is at its height, its strongest. So spells you can do are protection, love, healing, purification, money, travel, any spells that need the full force of the goddess. That's gorgeous. So any powerful spells you need to use. The goddess associated with the full moon is Venus, Aphrodite. Gorgeous. The goddess of love. I love Venus so much. She's gorgeous, beautiful. And this is the mother aspect of the triple goddess. You can celebrate the full moon 3 days before the full moon, and 1 day and 3 days or on the day, and 3 days after. So yes, so you don't have to celebrate on the day. You can celebrate 3 days before, 3 days after. So there's a good time window there if you're busy. But I would say do it on the day, because that's the peak. That's the peak of the energy there. And then when we go from full moon, full power, going to the new moon, to the dark moon, how you say it, whatever, then we're time to get rid of stuff. So when we went from new moon to full moon, we're building on something, we're working towards something, we're putting energy in. Then when we get to the full moon, we're accumulating that energy, we're putting energy forward, we're using the full power of the goddess. And then when it's waning, going back to the dark moon, so it goes dark, whatever. That's when you're banishing stuff. So you're getting rid of anything you don't want. Get rid of all energy that no longer serves you. So banishing negativity, letting go spells, removing all that negativity, because you don't need it. You don't need it in your life. That energy does not serve you. So you want to get rid of that. So when we're waning and we're getting darker, then we're getting rid of stuff. But when we're coming towards the full moon, then we want to bring stuff towards us, bring energies in, work towards our goals, full power of the energy. Let the universe know my intentions. Let the universe know what I want. May my spells be passed with the glorious light of the goddess and the glorious light of the full moon. And then we wane, banish all negativity, banish all things we don't want. Goodbye. So that is what magic you do and what spells you do during the moon cycles. But also there's other things to do with the moon, as I said before. So we have a blue moon, which means you have 2 full moons in 1 month. And I think last year we had 2, which is really extremely rare. So a blue moon is a time where there's a lot of power there. So if any spell you want to cast it on a blue moon, because you have that energy is so strong, so powerful, and that is the time to cast your most powerful spells on a blue moon. We're the second blue moon in 1 month, and it's absolutely gorgeous. And then we have a little thing called void, of course. So there is a time where the moon is not in alignment with any of the star signs. So the moon moves in cycles. So it might be the moon in Pisces, the moon in Virgo, the moon in Libra, the moon in Sagittarius, the moon in Scorpio, whatever. That moves into different star signs as it goes round. And it kind of moves through them, and it kind of like every 3 days or so it'll move into another star sign. But there is times when the moon is void, which means it's in between star signs, really. And some people say don't do any magic during this time because the energies are not in alignment or whatever. But I kind of did that at the beginning of my practice, but now I don't bother with that at all, because that energy doesn't serve me really. It's up to you whether you believe that or not, that if the moon isn't in a star sign, whatever. I thought I'd mention it as it's in my grimoire, but I wrote that when I was starting out, so yeah. And a short video on the moon has turned into a very long video about the moon. So yeah, so this is the moon. So yeah, fantastic energy, the moon. Really embodiment of the goddess, and I love it. Beautiful moon energy there. So that's a little video about information about the moon, moon magic, and what you can do during the different cycles of the moon. And you can buy a little calendar thing behind me there, that little one that's illuminated. My head's in the way. That calendar there. It is a witchy calendar which has got all the different astrological things, the different sabbats, the moon cycles you can't see, but it does list all the moon cycles, full moon, whatever. So it will tell you what you're in, and I think it does tell you what star sign you're in as well. But anyway, that's the moon. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you found this interesting. Like, subscribe, comment down below. If you want me to cover anything else, please message me or leave a comment down below, because I'm happy to oblige. So merry meet, merry part, merry meet again. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.